it's how I live. I mean, mostly due to Laura. Can you move? So these two kids, we had our courtyard house in the front of the neighborhood, but the yard wasn't very big. And as they were getting older and more rambunctious, I felt like we needed more space. And so we talked about, I went to buy my dad's house, and he wouldn't let me buy it. So we went as far as to get it appraised and everything, and he decided, you know, he couldn't sell it to me. I said fine, but then he offered the lot, some of the lot, and I ended up buying this lot here, and decided to build. So it was a good, and I'll remember that this being COVID, like building the house during COVID and all, was challenging, and it's more mentally, because I'm like, okay, I finally like pulled the trigger, like I've been thinking about building, and then like I get a little out of my comfort zone, and it was like, boom. I just remember being kind of a little twisted stomach for about 30 days. The design, I mean, we wanted just clean lines, very clean, modern. It's what we like.
Yeah. Whenever we started, I said, make me a box that just looks really pretty, basically. I like very simple, very, very modern. Yeah.
Chris Ledet Homes, I took over about 5 years ago from my dad. My dad's been in business for almost 40 years. And about 5 years ago, I took it over, and I've been building houses here for 10 years now. It's weird to say. I internalized a lot when I was building. I had a really hard time making decisions, but I never really told many people. And like, I wanted everything to be executed like perfectly. So I second guessed almost everything you're looking at here. From the wall panels on the porch to the screen behind me, to the type of posts, wood posts, and I mean everything, the color. I mean, I went round and round. It was difficult. Yeah, so the front of my house has 4 equally, sized window or doors, I should say. It's supposed to be doors, and the third one from the left is a breezeway. And the idea of the breezeway was that I wanted something to separate people come to my office to my house. And so I get that question a lot, why I leave my front door open all the time, but there's actually a breezeway. My at-home office, my dad growing up had an office, and as a kid I always remembered like being home, and my dad was always home. Not always home, but he was home when I got home from school, or put us to bed, or wake up and eat breakfast with us, whatever. And that stayed in with me, so I was like, I wanted the same thing for my kids. So I'll go work in there early, and kids go to eat breakfast. Some days they eat breakfast with them, and then most of the days when they come home, I'm here and I watch them come through those doors, and it's just real fun to watch.
For me, I love it outside, but my heart is in the girls' room a little bit, just because I love that you can see all their personality in it, and that was probably the room I had the most input with. And so I just think it's cool, and it's going to be something they'll grow with, and I mean, who has a bed like that? So I just think it's a cool place.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are.
What are your favorite things to play with?
Barbies.
Barbies. That's awesome.
And babies.
And babies? You like the baby dolls too?
And makeup.
Awesome.
And I like to play dress up. It's on the bottom right here. It's a hard door. It doesn't have anything right there. This new one is the new one. That's my dress up door. Aurora and an area and my puzzle and Anna, Elsa, and Belle. And I go like that top bed. I go like that top bed.
You found an image on Pinterest that we grew from, but the kids love the idea of bunk beds. And we had taken a trip one year where they got to stay in a bunk bed, and they just thought it was the coolest thing. So he found that idea, and we liked that it was like they were sharing a room, but not really. And you had the option to close that off at some point if you ever needed to.
Or take it down if they outgrow their bunk beds.
Yeah.
You know, pink and blue for the girls. They both like pink and light blue. The purple. Anna was obsessed with purple when we were building a house, and she wanted a purple sink. And so we made a purple sink. We fit that into the bill, you know, somehow. We walked around my kitchen, and he said, "I think you need to do an island and dining room connected. It's going to be badass." And I was sold. I was like, we're doing it.
I feel like that kind of plays on my involvement, because I think you texted me after and you were like, "What do you think about our dining room table being attached to our island?" And I was like, "Cool. You think it'd be good? Let's do it."
I mean, these kids, I mean, they're always out here. It's just fun, you know, like we're doing here, sitting on the porch, sitting in the grass. Our friends flock to it. It's just a good place to be when the weather's nice. Always good music playing. It's always a good time.
Yeah.
I had 90% of the fence built, and I decided last minute that I wanted turf. Just the faces the north, you know, grass is hard to grow, and the dog and kids in the mud. I just started thinking about it. My last house, I had struggled with grass and stuff, so last minute I put in turf. It was the best decision ever made, by far.
Pretty cool.
It was a weird build.
I wasn't working at the time because of
COVID.
And so we would pack up an ice chest of dinner every night.
Every night.
Eat it on an unfinished porch, and the kids would play in like gravel and dirt every night, and then take a bath in the hose pipe. So it was cool. It was cool to be part of that.
It was. I kind of forget about
I know, I
that.
have fond memories.
Because this was all plywood for a while, and then we would come here and you know, cook. Brought the griddle.
The girls really got to be part of it and like watch Dad build their house, which was cool.
Yeah, it was fun.